And just like that, with a change of t-shirt, no one will know that this was recorded straight after the previous one. Movie magic, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Hannibal. Last time on, we started the Red Dragon saga, arc, epic, whatever you want to call it. But basically, we're starting what this whole show is based upon. We got introduced to Dollarhide, played by Richard Armitage. A really good bit of casting, if you ask me. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go. Hannibal's captured. He's living his life, messing with people, Chilton especially. But as the Dollarhide murders are happening, Jack's like, I need help. I'm pulling in my old friend Will Graham, and I'm going to use him to capture this man, even though everything that's happened previously has gone horribly. But still, I'm pulling him back in. And even if he wants to go see Hannibal, sure, I'll let that happen. That's never gone badly. So yeah, it looks like the stage is set for the old mistakes to repeat themselves, but maybe our characters have learnt a thing or two from their previous experiences and things won't go the way that I expect them to, and there'll be some twists in the tale. Honestly, I'm just excited to see the show do their rendition of this part of the story. I mean, obviously, I don't even know how many episodes that this is going to last, if this is going to be the rest of the season, or if this is just going to be a few episodes and then we're going to be getting like an epilogue kind of episode at the end. Who knows? Who knows? But I am waiting for bad stuff to happen, Will to get twisted out of shape again, for Hannibal to do some manipulating because he didn't look like he was very happy that there's a new hotness in town. The plates are back up in the air spinning, everyone, and I'm here to watch them all fall and see how much drama happens from that. But before we jump into this episode, please remember to hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy the reaction and the review of the episode that happens afterwards. Also consider subscribing and supporting the channel that way. There are links in the description to Discord and Twitch if you want to come hang out over there. People seem to enjoy it. I hope you all enjoy it too. Come chill, hang, vibe, whatever the kids are saying these days. All of those things. It's a good time. Let's see what happens next. Let's see what they're doing up in Red Dragon Town, if it's crazy out here yet. Or alternatively, we might just have a nice cup of tea, conversation, Will and Hannibal shooting the breeze, no weirdness, no manipulation, just two good old buddies hanging out. I doubt it. Anyway, let's find out.
That's the same atrocious aftershave you wore in court.
Recognize that line.
Did you get my note?
I got it, thank you.
Did you read it before you destroyed it? Or did you simply toss it into the nearest fire?
Oh, this is so fun, seeing these two do this.
And oil beneath that shaving lotion. It's something a child would select, isn't it? Is there a child in your life? Well.
Oh my god, all of this feels so earned. It's like all stuff I recognize, but it feels so much more earned like this. It's so weird.
You just came here to look at me. Came to get the old scent again. Why don't you just smell yourself? Let me have the file. An hour and we can discuss it like old times.
Oh, it's so good. Why is it so good? Jesus, that was just fucking magical. Oh my god, are we doing this? We're doing this now?
As with all things in the natural world, you'll adapt now and mutate later. You accepted your father. Would it be so difficult to accept me?
I don't know if it would be smart.
I'll need to collect some flesh. Not a pound. Only a piece.
Like a finger?
I couldn't bear to take your fingers. Not even one. They're so lovely.
I'll take an ear, thank you.
Are you ready to die, Abigail?
Yes.
This is mad that we're getting this now. What a beautiful daughter-father activity. I wonder when they shot this. Did they shoot this during season 1 and just kept it in case they ever wanted to use it? That's mad. That is insane. That we had to wait a season, well, over a season and a half for that scene. Madness. That's a long game right there.
Well, at least Jack Crawford is pleased.
He showed me pictures of the families. I looked at Molly and Walter and I couldn't say no.
He knew how to play you like a fiddle, Will. He knew how to get you.
Are you still with Margot?
Yes. We have a baby. A verger baby.
There it is.
He's the verger heir.
Well, let's hope he doesn't turn out like Mason, huh?
These shards are set so he can see himself in Mrs. Jacoby's eyes.
Could you see yourself in their eyes, Will? Killing them all.
And so it begins! So it begins! Remember how you used to be, Will? You used to be fun.
First, like you, Will. He needs a family to escape what's inside him.
I do like that this is kind of like a blurred line between Hannibal's memory palace and Will's imagination.
A stepson absolves you of any biological blame. You know better than to breed. Can't pass on those terrible traits you fear the most.
Interesting, given that we've got a verger baby around as well. Something Will might have been thinking about.
If this pilgrim feels a special relationship with the moon, he might like to go outside and look at it before he tidies himself up. If one were you'd say, it would be better to have outdoor privacy for that sort of thing. One must show some consideration for the neighbors.
I can't get over it. I can't get over that I'm seeing these bits of dialogue being played between these two. It's it's so satisfying in a weird way.
I love a good finger wagging.
Yes, you do. How is Margot?
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're planning with Will Graham. But you're planning something. You've already cracked the lid. Can't resist peeling it back.
I mean, at least she's thinking ahead, you know? At least she's trying to, anyway.
I know what you're afraid of. It's not pain or solitude. It's indignity. You're a little bit like a cat that way.
Yep, just keep prodding him with a stick, Alana. Keep doing that.
I'll take it.
Your father never wished for anything but your happiness.
My father cut my throat.
Out of love.
It was a love cutting. Ew.
You have to allow yourself to love him the way he loved you.
So I'm just gonna go stab his dead body, probably. Yep. There it is. Ew. Ew. Interesting that we're actually we're seeing how he manipulated her into basically brainwashing, and she would just do anything he said. I don't know necessarily if I needed to see it, but I'm not angry that we are seeing it. It's nice just to see her in the show again, to be fair. He's got a tail. He's got a tail. He's got a CGI tail. We're going to get a scene where he just thinks he's a dragon, aren't we? It's going to happen.
Nothing's been found to link these two families. What do they have in common?
They were both happy.
I get a feeling that in discovering Dollarhide and what's motivating him, Will's going to be opening his mind to something about himself that he doesn't necessarily want to look at. I feel like that's where we're going.
Federal manhunters stymied in their search for the Tooth Fairy have turned to the most savage killer in captivity for help. It takes one to catch one.
Takes one to catch one? You referring to Hannibal Lecter or me?
I'll let my readers decide.
She knows the power of ambiguity. She did it. I do remember from the movie that Dollarhide had an obsession with Hannibal. I seem to recall. I feel like I just, in thinking that, I feel like I just gave a portion of what might happen away to myself. I'm fairly sure at some stage, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it here, but that Dollarhide and Hannibal have like a correspondence with one another.
The more sensitive the film, the meaner it is to handle. Gotta be total darkness. Can't even wear infrared goggles. They'll give off radiation and cloud the film. I'm happy to do it for you, if you want. Privacy guaranteed.
I'm just kind of dreading this because I kind of know where this is going to go. But again, the TV show might do something different.
Ride with me. for my pleasure.
Oh god. Oh god. It's like watching something happen in slow motion. Ooh, we're getting pie. Pie? I like pie.
Do you cook? How about coffee?
It's such a good performance. It's like you could feel it, like he's just keeping it in, like everything he wants to, like.
May I touch your face? I just want to know if you're smiling or frowning.
Trust me. I'm smiling.
Oh god, it's so. Oy. That's it. I haven't got words. Words don't make sense for what I'm feeling, so it's just gonna be.
I'm feeling Randy.
Hello.
Randy's our new dog.
Oh, hell.
Randy's got huge balls. I'm here. And I'll be here whenever you come home.
Good night, Mom.
What
Good night, sweet man.
a wonderful, supportive person to have in your life, Will. Don't fuck this up. God, we're back to this. We're back to this. Will, this is when you say, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. Maybe I take a step away from this.
I wrote Will a note, warning him you'd come calling.
Yes, I read your note before my office forwarded it to Will.
That's rude. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that.
You've placed him back in the pot, and you're letting him cook. It would be more honest if you ate his brain right out of his skull.
I kind of love that Hannibal's, like, angry at Jack for bringing Will in.
Will has never been more effective than he is with you inside his head.
I agree.
Jack. Please.
We're waiting for Will. It's important that he sees you. I want you two to be together.
They'll catch us if we stay.
Hunting with your father was the best time you've ever had. Now you're going to hunt with me.
Jesus. He, like, fashioned her into a weapon. An emotional and physical weapon. I mean, she was meant to be a gift. This is Hannibal's version of a gift for Will, but...
It's your attorney.
Thank you. Hello.
Dr. Lecter, I wanted to tell you that I am delighted that you have taken an interest in me. The important thing is what I am becoming.
Tell me, what are you becoming?
Great Red Dragon.
Oh my god, the smile that he's got on his face, you could just see it beneath his face. Oh my god. Well, I guess that's their correspondence beginning right there, as I thought might happen. Oh, let's talk about it. I still can't get over just how much I'm loving seeing these renditions of these characters performing the bits that I recognize from the movie, and like how everything just has a different weight to it because we've had all this extra stuff happen. And now it almost feels as if, honestly, like they looked at bits of dialogue from the book, from the movie, whatever, and were like, how can we make that line feel more impactful? So we'll dedicate a season of episodes of TV. So when we get to say that line, it makes the audience go, "Oi, motherfucker." It's great though. It's great. It really, I can't think of a better way of describing that it has weight. Like those conversations that are part of popular culture now, thanks to the book and the movie, it just gives it a whole other connotation because we have this whole experience with these characters like growing to know one another. Whereas previously, at least in my experience of the movie, it was all sort of said, and you're just like, oh, okay, they talk to each other a lot, they had a life, and you know, etc., etc. But we got to live through it with them. We got to experience that friendship in all its complexity, and now we're seeing this part of the story, the actual story, and it's like everything feels so much more like the tension's there, and the motivations that are carried with that tension. Yeah, I'm loving it. I am loving all of that stuff. But also, it's, you know, I think it's important to point out that because the show did its own thing with it, it feels different. Even though it is directly lifting the same dialogue in certain segments, it feels distinctly like its own thing because of that. It's not like they're just like phoning it in here at the end and just doing the thing that we all know. It still genuinely feels like its own thing on top of that. Like I said in the reaction, if it's in there in the edit, it definitely feels like, you know, we're continuing the parallel of, you know, Dollarhide's descent into his transformation and Will's transformation into going back to his old mind and his old mindset and having to look internally once again. And is he going to be ready to look at himself in that way again? And for potentially his own kind of transformation? And will Hannibal use this case? Well, obviously he's going to use this case to manipulate events for his benefit and his own curiosity. Like, this ending scene is so good. Like, it's like something awakens in Hannibal after all this time. It's someone else he can take under his wing once again, and can he use this person to manipulate Will and into a certain situation, or Jack, or, you know, there's lots of ways that this could go into its own place, and I'm looking forward to that, to see how they're going to handle all of that stuff. But, you know, it's so strange in that it is basically, we're going back to the beginning again, but now we know these characters so well. It's like, ooh, I know what they're gonna do, but at the same time, I don't trust anything. I did love that Hannibal seemed angry at Jack for bringing Will in, though, even though, like, obviously Hannibal would love to see Will, and, you know, he still longs for that relationship. Or it's kind of, you know, he just wears that on his sleeve now, pretty much. But it was interesting that Hannibal was, like, it's all through the performance, in that he is angry at Jack for making Will go through this again, when clearly it's not what Will wanted. And he's like, you're using him again, you motherfucker. It's just interesting that the show is kind of putting us on side with Hannibal in that regard. Like, Jack, please, why have you not learnt from previous experience? Why are you doing this again? You know how this goes. You're going to break him again. And Hannibal's like, you fucker, and we're like, you fucker, and it's just, it's mad. It's mad that that's happening. We actually got some dialogue this time for Dollarhide. We had the performance from Richard Armitage getting grown out a little bit more than the physical stuff, and it's great. He's doing a really good job of someone who is really disturbed about themselves and is obviously holding in a lot. And in those scenes where he's talking and he's like, you can feel it and you can see it, that he's just holding in everything with every fiber of his being. Like, he wants to lash out, he wants to, like, do what the crazy growly voice in his head is telling him, but he's just like, hold it in tight, please. And I've forgotten the character's name, but the lady who he's like talking to, I know if this is going to go the same way as the movie, the tragic nature of it, because it's like she is this pure beacon of light that comes into Dollarhide's life, and it's like there's this feeling of hope that maybe she can do something to turn him around, even though he's already committed like horrendous murder and needs to be stopped and put away. But it is this element of, oh, please listen to her, please just take this good thing and put this old thing away, but you know where it's going to go. And like I said it in the reaction, it's like watching a car crash in slow motion, because you know what's coming, especially if you've seen the movie, and you know that it's going to be tragic. It's going to be tragic, But I'm excited once again to see how the TV show is going to do this and maybe put its own mark on the whole thing. But yeah, like I was saying, this whole element of, you know, Dollarhide reaching out to Hannibal and Hannibal going, oh, it's someone else who I can bring out the best of in, and all that, and use it to my own ends, and all of that. The fact that we've had 2 seasons worth of Hannibal building that up, so we have an understanding of how he goes about doing that. And obviously now we've got the flashbacks with Abigail, so we saw how he did that with Abigail as well. And, you know, it just seeds everything so perfectly for the telling of this particular story, and it gives it a whole new flavor. We finally got to see what happened at the end of season 1. Insane that we're now near the end of season 3, and we're finally getting the visual of what happened there, of you know, Hannibal taking Abigail's blood, squirting it around in the splash pattern, basically insinuating, I'm gonna have to take your ear as well, hope you don't mind, lol. And this is like what I'm saying, like, it's mad that in some ways we're kind of on the same page as Hannibal, but also it's showing us how much of an absolute bastard he actually is, and yet we're still like, yeah, he's right about some shit, he ain't wrong. But it was also nice seeing the flashback of him saying, like, Will told him, hey, they know that's your signal to get the fuck out of Dodge if you want to keep living your life. But he's like, no, we have to wait for Will. This is what this is about. I like him making that choice of like, I did all this for him and I'm going to stick to it. I think that says a lot about Hannibal and how he feels about Will, even though, you know, it resulted in a lot of murder, death, stabby, emotional turmoil and everything in between. But, you know, I think it was kind of a nice moment to actually see that scene play out, especially because we see the process of him thinking, do I go or do I stay? And it's like, you know, normally we see Hannibal do what is best for self-preservation and survival, and in that moment you see him go, I'm going to basically, without getting too soppy and romantic about it, I'm going to listen to my heart. I did this for Will, and I'm going to see it through to its end, whatever may happen. We got confirmation that Alana and Margot are together. They have a baby, a Virgin baby, and money is in the bank. Again, I do wonder if we're going to see Margot again and maybe the baby. Also, I thought it, the moment that conversation came up, like, I even said it, like, let's hope he doesn't turn out like Mason. Like, let's hope, I guess. And it was interesting, like, not a few scenes later, we had Hannibal saying, oh, it's great to have a stepson, isn't it? That you don't have to worry that you've passed on whatever's going on in your brain to your child. And, you know, that's an interesting theme. It's a big part of the movie Hereditary, which I love in terms of, like, have I passed on my anxiety, my depression, and all of this stuff down to my children, and how does that affect our relationships across the generations and all of that stuff? It's not really the big thing that's here, but it's interesting that it is kind of touched upon, and I think it does say something about Will and, like, some of his anxieties that he may not be vocalizing. But yeah, it's just an interesting little detail that's there, and obviously that parallels with the Virgin baby, which, you know, whether or not that comes back into the story in a big way or not, who knows, but it's just a seed that is clearly planted there. We also got a little bit more of why Hannibal's, like, cell is so nice, and it's basically, yo, you behave yourself, you get your nice stuff, you get to live your classy life that you like, as long as you work with us, you behave yourself, it's all good. But if you fuck up, it's gone. It's going away, all of it. Which was an interesting scene because it did feel like Alana poking a bear with a stick, and people have made that mistake several times over in this show. Definitely feels like a reckoning is coming her way at some point. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that as well. But yeah, I feel like I'm the only smart one in the room sometimes when it's like, it doesn't matter if the man's chained to the ground, right? Don't antagonize him. It's not gonna go your way. Please. I am also interested to see how the Will's, like, new family is going to get developed as these episodes go along, because obviously I don't know how the show's going to end. I don't know how the Will Hannibal relationship is going to go get concluded, I should say, and, like, obviously I know how the movie ends. I'm just wondering if they're going to do something different with this. I won't say just in case anyone watching this hasn't watched the movie. But yeah, interesting. I don't know. It feels like they're building up this idea of Will is running away from himself into this family unit that he's created, and Hannibal is probably going to seek to, you know, once again bring out what he perceives to be Will's true nature, and what that means for Will's family, who knows? Probably not good. I mean, I guess I will wait and see what tragic fate may happen upon them, I guess. But I swear to God, if anything happens to those dogs, I will flip this table, including the new one. He got a new dog today. That's nice. I'm super into this. I'm really enjoying this. Again, it feels very different to the opening half of the season. I mean, I've already said this previously. I really enjoyed how different that first portion of this season was, but it also feels very refreshing to step back into something that feels more familiar, but also with its own twists and turns. But I'm enjoying this a great deal. I'm very excited to see where it's going to go and how they're going to resolve everything. I'm interested to see if there's going to be more phone calls. I mean, they seem to set that up, but if there's going to be more phone calls between Hannibal and Dollarhide, I'm interested to see what happens when those characters all meet and come to a head, and see what happens with that. Like I say, especially since it does seem to be seeding this idea of Will looking at himself, and when he comes to that confrontation, maybe that's gonna spark off some stuff. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm really into what they're doing here with the original material and adapting it to these versions of the characters. So yeah, super into this. Can't wait for more. Thank you for watching this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, please press the thumbs up button. It helps me know you liked it. It helps it get seen by more people. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos and help support the channel that way. There are links to Twitch and Discord in the description. They're great places too, so come hang out over there. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next one.